Hello everybody! So today for some Qigong we are going to explore a system of Qigong called the Five Animal Frolics. And specifically, since we're just at the tail end of winter, we're going to look at Qigong that focuses on the bear exercises. The bear movements are associated with the kidneys, the adrenal glands, the urinary bladder, the reproductive organs, everything that is most affected by the energies of the winter. And so those will be what we'll be going over today. So the bear exercises, what we want to do is keep our belly facing forward, because if I keep my belly forward, I can keep all this lower part of my body stable, and it really emphasizes movements here over where the kidneys are located. So I'm going to have a nice comfortable distance with my feet, and I'm going to bring my hands up and my arms up like I'm a bear, bringing up my paws. And keeping everything from the lowest rib down facing forward, being still. I'm just going to start to turn from side to side. Just a few degrees in each direction. It doesn't have to be far. Starting to isolate some movement and some stimulation into the kidney area. And everything nice and relaxed, keeping the hands relaxed, nothing tight, nice and loose. And so you want to do this maybe 9 times to each side, however long or short you'd like. And then keeping this same movement, my next thing is I'm going to bring my hand out and then come back. So I'm expanding as I turn and contracting as I come forward. So everything here is still facing forward. It's just from my rib cage up. Just a little bit in each direction. Nice and slow. The way it was described to me, as much effort as it would take to push a cloud away. So it's not a fast move, it's gently pushing out and gently coming back in. And so now keeping the same movement, maybe you've done this a few times to each side. I'm going to keep my same twist, but now I'm going to sink down to about my hips and rise up. So the energy of the winter is a sinking energy. Everything moves down. Fall. So I'm letting my hands follow this sinking energy. But I raise my hands up so I can lift it just a bit. When our energy gets too stuck, we have a tendency to feel depressed, sad, blue, all that they call seasonal affective disorder. All those really kind of melancholy feelings that come up in the winter time. Helping to follow the winter, but lift it up just a bit so we cannot fall too prey to those feelings of just blue. I can't think of a better word than that, just that blue feeling. So after you've done this as many times to each side as you'd like, we're going to bring a little bit of fire into our winter. So again, a little bit of heat, a little bit of warmth. So I'm going to bring my hands palm up, fingertips about an inch or so away from each other, right in the middle of the chest, as if you're going to do a Tarzan motion, right where your hands would instinctively go to. That's where I'm going to bring my hands. Same right to left to right movement, but now as I twist, my hand is going to come out, and my middle fingertip is going to come near the crease of my outstretched arm. So I'm connecting my pericardium and heart meridians, drawing back to the heart, and twisting again, belly forward, just that little movement in the upper back and mid back. So bringing a little bit of fire element. So the heart and the small intestine, the pericardium, and the circulatory system all have more of a fire energy. So the element associated with winter is water, where the summertime is fire. So just this little bit of fire into our winter, again, to help things warm up. Just a little bit, just so we don't become, frozen and stuck. Just a little bit of movement. So after you've done this as many times to each side as you feel guided to do so, we'll keep our same motion, but now I'm going to push out. So I'm going to make this triangle shape with my fingers, and I'm going to push out as I turn, and then gather back towards my heart as I come towards the center. Push out and gather. So you can see I'm only turning a few degrees to each direction. It doesn't have to be this very deep twist. It's not about making it a twist. It's just a few degrees in each direction, letting the upper part of the body, the upper part of the torso twist while everything below it stays stationary. It really helps to internally massage, if you will, help to work out all that tension in our kidneys, adrenal glands. This is wonderful to do for lower back, wonderful for feelings of fear or timidness, which can come up a lot in the wintertime. And so once you've finished your last movement to each side, bring your hands back to the chest and let everything float down. So we'll do one more bear exercise, and this one's a little bit more involved, and we're going to trace up the meridians that run along the inside and back of our leg up the front of our torso. So getting the urinary, bladder, and kidney meridians, tracing them with our hands. So when I bring my hands, when I'm tracing, I'm not physically touching the body, I'm hovering. So as if I was just scanning the area, because I just want to energetically stimulate the area. So I'll give you two views. First we'll look at the upper body, and then I'll tilt the camera so we can look at our lower body. Feet a little bit wider, everything a little bit wider, having the hands out in front of us in that triangle shape. And when you're ready, I'm going to bend down, bringing my head, arms, everything down to the ground. And I'm going to trace up the inside of one leg as I shift my weight to the other. Up my torso, and then out the same direction as the leg I just traced. So I just traced up the inside of my right leg, so I'm pushing out my right side, equalizing my weight as I come to the middle, repeating. Now I'm going to trace up the inside of my left leg as I shift my weight to the right, up the front of my torso, out, and back to the middle. So just so you can see what's happening with the legs, let me just tilt this a little bit. So again, nice wide distance, just so that I have some room. I'm bringing my hand out, and then as I come down, I'm just allowing my hands to hover around the side and back of my leg as I trace up the inside of my leg, up the front of my body, out from my heart, equalizing my weight as I come to the middle, coming back down. Now I'm going to trace up the left leg as I shift my weight to the right, up the front of my body, out, and back to the middle. And then once you've completed your last cycle, going as many times as you'd like, just let the hands rest in front of the lower dantian and the lower belly for a few breaths before letting everything rest down to the side. So here we have some bear movements. Again, very nice to do any time of the year, especially in the winter. But our kidneys hold our prenatal chi. They hold the chi that was given to us at birth. And our prenatal chi, our kidney chi, is said to determine our entire longevity. So once we're out of kidney chi, we're out. And we want to preserve this as best we can to have a long, healthy life. So bear exercises, these kidney movements, even just doing something like this, just finding the lower back over the kidneys and just very gently tapping. This is a little bit of a do-ween movement. Tapping, having some friction to generate some heat. Anything we can do to help warm, stimulate, heal the kidneys, get some tension out of the kidneys, it does so much for us and is such an important part of our self-care. So I hope you've enjoyed. Be well.